And I want to start supporting Terry Collins. The Kansas City Royals, first of all, were a better team. Second of all, Daniel Murphy a week ago, Babe Ruth cooled off. So did Cespedes. And number three, it felt like destiny. And Kansas City last year was 90 feet away from winning the World Series. They came back this year motivated. They're the better baseball team. I mean, let's be honest. If Daniel Murphy didn't become like Babe Ruth a week ago, Mets maybe don't even make it past the Dodgers. So last night, you get into later innings, ninth inning, and Terry Collins, the manager for the Mets, decides to go with Matt Harvey. Even though before the game they had decided we're going to go to the bullpen if we're in that spot. And then Matt Harvey comes in and walks somebody, and he stays with Matt Harvey. And this morning everybody's, oh, you can't believe it. Last night, oh, I can't believe what Terry Collins did. I've been saying this for years. Major League Baseball is 162 games. That doesn't even count spring training. That doesn't even count postseason. Terry Collins has been managing this team this year like 200 games. You go when in doubt with your star. Because in sports, you can lose games. You can't lose locker rooms. To me, I've always believed for baseball managers, everybody complains. We complained about Tony La Russa. We complained about Tommy Lasorda. We complained about Joe Torre. Schematically, most managers are fine. But part of managing for that long is managing egos. That's what made Bobby Cox great, and Terry Francona great, and Joe Torre great. The great ones, it's not about with Jim Leland, the X's and O's. Most of us could sit in a dugout and figure that out. It's 162 games minimum. That's like, in football, you go on 8 road trips. You fly in on Friday and you fly out on Sunday late afternoon. It's 36 hours. Sometimes you fly in on Saturday. I mean, you're barely, come on. It's not road tripping. This is backpacking through Europe 9 times a year on the road. 6-game, 8-day, 12-day roadies. You can't lose your stars. You can't lose them. You lose your stars because the guys that aren't stars in the locker room, they don't have any leverage. But in a baseball locker room, Matt Harvey, Syndergaard, those guys have leverage. Other players listen to them. You've got to have them in your corner. And so I will forever back the Major League Baseball manager going in a tight spot with his horse, with his alpha male. And you can second guess it all you want, but let's be honest. Once Daniel Murphy became Daniel Murphy, stone hands and a good hitter, and he wasn't Babe Ruth or Joe Morgan defensively, when he became Daniel Murphy, a nice Major League player who can hit, not a great fielder, the Mets offense wasn't the same. And the better bullpen and the better roster and the better lineup and the destiny and the momentum, they were the better team. Here's Terry Collins, who will defend forever, going with his guy, his star, his alpha male after the game.
I'd have taken him out and we'd have got the runs, and it would have been the wrong decision anyway. He looked me in the eye and he said, I got to have this game. I've got to have this. I want this game. And for what he's been through and what he's trying to accomplish, I said, you didn't go out there and get it, get the job done, and it just didn't happen. So certainly, I'm going to second guess myself for a long time.
I don't think he should. And remember, in football coaches, we complain about a lot of stuff. They're not motivational enough. We don't like their schematics. We don't like the quarterback they go with. We don't like their play calling. We basically eat baseball managers alive for the same exact thing. We don't like how they handle pitchers. That's really it. We don't like how they handle the 7th, 8th, and 9th. To me, I'd always go with my guy. And if he loses, then he lost the game. I didn't. And he still supports me in that clubhouse next spring training. Matt Harvey's not spending the offseason bitching about Terry Collins. He's mad at himself. You can lose a game. You can't lose a locker room.